Dr. Jonathan Hartley had always prided himself on his unwavering composure and logical mindset. As a seasoned physician, he had witnessed his fair share of medical emergencies and had become accustomed to the hustle and bustle of the hospital. But little did he know that one fateful night would shatter his sense of normalcy and thrust him into a chilling descent into the heart of terror. It began innocently enough, with Dr. Hartley diligently attending to his patients on the hospital's night shift. The corridors echoed with the sounds of hurried footsteps, beeping machines, and the occasional moans of pain. But amidst the controlled chaos, there lingered an undeniable sense of unease, a whisper of something sinister lurking just beyond the realm of perception. As the clock struck midnight, a peculiar stillness settled over the hospital. The once busy hallways now felt deserted and foreboding, as if the very walls held their breath in anticipation. Dr. Hartley couldn't shake the eerie sensation that he was being watched, his every move scrutinized by unseen eyes. With an air of trepidation, he made his way to the dimly lit psychiatric ward, where patients with severe mental disorders were housed. The flickering fluorescent lights cast eerie shadows that danced along the walls, giving the impression of fleeting figures lurking just out of sight. Dr. Hartley's footsteps echoed ominously, each sound amplifying the growing sense of dread that coiled in his gut. As he entered a patient's room, a cold gust of wind brushed against his face, carrying with it a whisper, barely audible yet undeniably present. The words were indistinguishable, mere fragments of a haunting melody that sent a shiver down his spine. He dismissed it as a trick of the mind, the result of long hours and an overactive imagination, but as the night wore on, the whispers grew louder, more insistent. They followed Dr. Hartley wherever he went, their words laden with an inexplicable menace. He tried to ignore them, to focus on his duties, but their relentless presence gnawed at his sanity, chipping away at his resolve. In the depths of the hospital's basement, where the air was dank and heavy, Dr. Hartley stumbled upon an old, forgotten storage room. The door creaked open with a sense of reluctance, as if warning against what lay within. Inside, he discovered a collection of dusty medical records, each one detailing the tragic stories of patients long gone. As he perused the records, the whispers grew louder, their voices intertwining in a menacing chorus. Dr. Hartley's heart raced as he realized that the voices belonged to the deceased, the souls of those who had met their end within the hospital's walls. Their restless spirits now sought solace, their ethereal pleas echoing through the corridors, desperate to be heard. Haunted by the revelations and the relentless whispers, Dr. Hartley delved deeper into the hospital's dark history. He uncovered tales of malpractice, unexplained deaths, and even rumors of occult rituals performed by misguided doctors. The hospital's tainted past seemed to infect the present, as if the sins of the past had awakened a malevolent force, hungry for retribution. Fear consumed Dr. Hartley, his once rational mind now clouded by a growing sense of terror. He became plagued by apparitions, glimpses of spectral figures that flickered in and out of existence, their eyes filled with anguish and accusation. They reached out to him, their spectral hands inches away from his trembling form, before vanishing into the ether. Dr. Jonathan Hartley's grip on reality continued to slip as he delved further into the depths of the hospital's haunted history. The once familiar hallways now twisted and contorted, their dimensions shifting with each step he took. Shadows danced and skittered along the walls, whispering secrets that only intensified his growing dread. Night after night, Dr. Hartley found himself drawn to the hospital's abandoned morgue, a place steeped in darkness and sorrow. The icy touch of death lingered in the air as he ventured into the cold, sterile room. The flickering fluorescent lights provided little solace, casting macabre shadows upon the rows of empty gurneys. It was there, amid the chilling silence, that Dr. Hartley encountered an apparition unlike any he had seen before. A figure materialized from the shadows, a gaunt, skeletal form draped in tattered hospital robes. Its hollow eyes locked onto Dr. Hartley's, filled with a desperate longing and profound sorrow. The specter beckoned him closer, its voice a mere whisper that reverberated through the morgue. It spoke of forgotten truths and unspeakable horrors, revealing the hospital's darkest secrets. Dr. Hartley listened, his heart pounding in his chest, as the ghostly figure recounted tales of patients subjected to inhumane experiments and lost souls trapped within the hospital's walls. Driven by an insatiable curiosity and a sense of duty, Dr. Hartley sought to uncover the truth behind these haunting revelations. He embarked on a relentless quest, piecing together fragments of information and unearthing hidden corridors that led to long-forgotten chambers. With each revelation, the malevolent presence within the hospital grew stronger, its grip tightening around Dr. Hartley's very soul. He became entangled in a sinister web of paranormal activity, where objects moved of their own accord, disembodied voices echoed through empty hallways, and the air grew heavy with an otherworldly presence. In his pursuit of the truth, Dr. Hartley encountered fellow hospital staff who had succumbed to the pervasive darkness. They had become vessels for the malevolent forces, their eyes vacant and their actions driven by an insatiable urge to inflict pain. They pursued him relentlessly, their distorted forms contorting with each step, as if their bodies were mere puppets controlled by unseen hands. As Dr. Hartley ventured deeper into the heart of the hospital, he stumbled upon a hidden chamber, a place where the veil between the living and the dead was at its thinnest. Within the chamber, a swirling vortex of black energy pulsed, a portal to a realm beyond comprehension. A voice, ancient and filled with malice, emanated from the vortex. It promised power, forbidden knowledge, and an end to Dr. Hartley's torment. But the doctor knew that succumbing to the darkness would only perpetuate the cycle of suffering. With a surge of determination, he resisted the seductive call and vowed to uncover a way to banish the malevolent forces that plagued the hospital once and for all. Dr. Jonathan Hartley's relentless pursuit of the truth had brought him to the precipice of a horrifying revelation. The hospital's dark secrets had intertwined with his very being, as if he had become a conduit for the restless spirits and malevolent forces that plagued the building. Armed with newfound knowledge and a glimmer of hope, Dr. Hartley sought the guidance of a reclusive occultist rumored to possess ancient wisdom. The enigmatic figure dwelled in the outskirts of town, in a dilapidated mansion shrouded in mystery and the whispers of dark rituals. Within the occultist's study, surrounded by arcane tomes and flickering candles, Dr. Hartley learned of an ancient ritual, a ritual that could sever the ties between the haunted hospital and the realms of the supernatural. But its execution would require immense courage, unwavering resolve, and a sacrifice of unimaginable proportions. With his heart heavy but his determination unyielding, Dr. Hartley returned to the hospital, armed with the knowledge necessary to confront the malevolent forces that lurked within. The shadows seemed to deepen as he ventured through the corridors, his steps echoing with purpose. His path led him to a long-forgotten chamber deep within the hospital's bowels, a place where the walls dripped with an otherworldly darkness and the air was thick with a suffocating malevolence. It was there that he would perform the ritual, his last chance to restore peace and bring an end to the spectral torment that plagued the hospital. As Dr. Hartley began the intricate incantations, the very fabric of reality trembled. The walls pulsated with ethereal energy, and the spirits of the tormented souls materialized, their eyes filled with a mixture of desperation and hope. They reached out to him, their spectral hands trembling with anticipation, as if they yearned for release from their eternal suffering. But the malevolent force that had taken root within the hospital was not so easily vanquished. It fought back with a vengeance, unleashing a torrent of supernatural fury upon Dr. Hartley. The very walls seemed to close in, the atmosphere crackling with dark energy. Undeterred, Dr. Hartley pressed on, his voice steady and resolute as he chanted the ancient words of banishment. The ritual reached its crescendo, a cataclysmic clash between light and darkness. The hospital shook to its foundations, the walls groaning under the strain of the supernatural battle, and then, in a blinding flash of light, the malevolent presence was expelled from the hospital, banished to the depths from whence it came. Silence descended upon the once haunted halls, broken only by Dr. Hartley's labored breaths and the distant sound of sirens, signaling the arrival of authorities called to investigate the cataclysmic disturbance. Dr. Hartley emerged from the chamber, battered and weary but triumphant. The hospital, once a breeding ground for terror, was now a sanctuary of peace. The spirits, freed from their eternal torment, had found solace and departed to their final resting places, but as Dr. Hartley stepped out into the dawning light, he knew that the horrors he had witnessed would forever haunt his dreams. The hospital had changed him, leaving an indelible mark upon his soul, a reminder of the depths of darkness that could be unleashed when the veil between worlds is torn asunder. And so, with a heavy heart and a newfound appreciation for the fragility of sanity, Dr. Hartley left the hospital behind, forever carrying the weight of its chilling tale, a tale of courage, sacrifice, and the enduring triumph of the human spirit over the forces that dwell in the shadows. At the end of this video, I hope you have enjoyed this story. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video to receive all new horror stories that are more exciting and mysterious. Thank you.